Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video I want to explain about acids. So we need to know what are acid and the types of acid. We're also going to cover the characteristics of acid. So what is an acid? So an acid is a compound which produces hydrogen in a positive charged ion in aqueous solution or when dissolved in water. So an acid is a chemical compound which produces hydrogen ions, hydrogen positive ions. So we're going to put the charge there. So an acid is a compound which produces the hydrogen positive charged ions. That's what is called an acid. Okay, so now once you know what an acid is, we should know also examples of acid. We should know examples of acid. So we have the mineral acid and the organic acid. So when talking about the mineral acid, so let's talk about the mineral acid. Mineral acid. So this video is going to focus much on the mineral acid. So the mineral acid, we're talking about the acid which are not made from organic compounds, of course, not made from animals or plant product. So examples of mineral acids, we have hydrochloric acid, for example, the HCl. We have the sulfuric acid, okay, which looks like that. We have the carbonic acid, carbonic acid, which is the H2SO3, like that. That's the carbonic acid, and the many more. We have nitric acid, of course. Nitric acid is also one of the examples, good examples of mineral acid. So these are just examples of mineral acid. So they are not product of animal or plants, no. So that's why they're called minerals, mostly from the minerals. Okay, so those are mineral acids. So we're going to focus on these types of acid in this video. Okay, now let us look at the types of acids. The types of acids. So what are the types of acids? So types of acid. So the types of acid, we have a strong acid and a weak acid. So we start with the strong acid. So what are strong acids? So strong acid, these are acids which ionizes completely. So strong acid ionizes completely. To ionize is to break down. So ionizes completely in aqueous solution. So ionizes completely when dissolved in water or in aqueous solution. Okay, so those are called the strong acid. So strong acid are referring to the acid which ionizes completely in aqueous solution. Now, what are the examples of strong acid? Examples of strong acid. So examples of strong acid which ionizes completely, I'm going to give just three: the hydrochloric acid, the HCl, and how does the ionization takes place. So when the hydrochloric acid is dissolved in water, it's going to produce two ions, which will be the hydrogen positive ions, then plus the hydrochloride, the chloride ion, which is negative. So that is the ionization equation for hydrochloric acid. Okay. Then apart from hydrochloric acid, we also have sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is also a good example of a strong acid. It also ionizes it completely. So if you give an example of sulfuric acid here, it's H2SO4. It's going to produce two hydrogen ions which are positive, like that. Then plus we also have the sulfate radical sulfate ion, which is 2 minus. Okay, so that is the ionization reaction for sulfuric acid. We also have the nitric acid. So nitric acid. So for the nitric acid, we have the HNO3. So when you draw or write the ionization reaction, we have nitric acid here. Then we have the NO3, which is going to produce the hydrogen positive ion, and then plus the nitrate ion, which is a negative. Okay, so that is the ionization reaction for nitric acid. So these are the three common examples of strong acid. Now we have a lot. These are not the only strong acid. Okay, now we look at the weak acid. So B, we look at the weak acid. So say we have strong acid and the weak acid. So weak acid. So when talking about the weak acids, we are referring to the acid which partially ionizes. So these they partially ionizes. They partially ionizes. So those are called the weak acid. So these they partially ionizes when dissolved in aqueous solution. Common examples are the organic acids. So organic acids are common examples of weak acid. So organic acids, all organic acids are good examples of weak acid. An example of an organic acid which we can have here is called methanoic acid, for example, ethanoic acid, methanoic acid, butanoic acid, and the like. So let's use the ethanoic acid. Let's use ethanoic acid as an example for weak acid. So we use ethanoic acid. So what's the formula for ethanoic acid? So ethanoic acid. Okay, so the formula for ethanoic acid, it is CH3, and we have the Cu part here. So when you want to draw the ionization reaction of ethanoic acid, so we're going to break it down like this. So we have the CH3 Cu, then to produce in organic acid, this hydrogen here is the one responsible for acidity. So we're going to produce one hydrogen positive charged ion, and the stem part, which is the CH3, and we're going to have the Cu, and this is negative. Okay, so these are the types of acid, the strong acid and the weak acid with their examples. Okay, now we look at the characteristics of acids. What are the characteristics of acid? So characteristics or properties. So the first part we're going to focus on physical properties. So focus on physical properties. Okay, so I'm going to write physical in brackets here. So physical, physical properties of acid. So what are the physical properties of acid? So one, acids have the sour taste. Acids have the sour taste. So one of the properties that they have the sour taste. They taste like sour. Okay, so sour taste. Then apart from that, they turn blue litmus paper red. So turn blue litmus paper red. So the acid will turn the blue litmus, just say litmus because it may also have a liquid. So litmus red. So and many more. They are corrosive. They have positive charged ion, and that's a chemical property. Okay. Now we talk about the chemical properties. Now in this video, when talking about the chemical properties, I'm going to focus on the chemical reactions of acids. So focus on the chemical reactions. So the reactions of acids. So we say reactions of acids. Reactions of acids. So we're going to look at different types of reactions, which acids undergoes. The first reaction is that acids react with metals to produce a metal salt and hydrogen gas. So acids react with metals, reactive metals specifically. So react with the reactive metals. Reactive metals. Okay, reactive with metals to form a metal salt and the hydrogen gas. Let's consider this example. Let's say when the calcium react with the hydrochloric acid, the HCl, the calcium metal is going to displace hydrogen from its compound. So here where there is hydrogen, you're going to have the calcium. Okay, calcium is going there. So we're going to form the calcium chloride. So we have the calcium chloride. The hydrogen will remain alone here as a molecule. So that's just one example I'm going to give here. Then apart from that reaction, Acids also react with the react with bases. It is called neutralization reaction. So react with the bases. So acids react with the alkalis, bases, and that is called neutralization reaction. So let's say we have nitric acid here, nitric acid, then we react it with the let's say sodium hydroxide. So what will be the product? A metal is going to displace hydrogen there to form sodium nitrate. So we have sodium nitrate here, okay, plus, and we have this hydroxide remaining there, which will combine with the hydrogen to produce water. So hydrogen ion. So we have a H2O at the end. So react with bases to produce a metal salt and water. Now acids also react with metal oxide. So acids react with metal oxide. So react with the metal oxide. So what are the products? The product is similar to when acid react with a base or alkali. So it's a metal salt and water as well. Let's say sulfuric acid, sulfuric acid plus calcium oxide. Okay, so sulfuric acid, H2SO4 plus calcium oxide. So we are going to produce this. Calcium will displace hydrogen from each compound. So we are going to have, calcium sulfate here. We have the calcium sulfate and plus water. The oxygen ion here will combine with the hydrogen ions to produce water like that. So we have the H2O like that. Then last but not the least, I'll end on the fourth reaction. Acids react with metal oxide. So they react metal carbonate. So they react with the metal carbonate. What are the products when an acid reacts with a metal carbonate? We have a metal salt. So we're going to have a salt product, salt. Then we have water. We also have the carbon dioxide gas, the CO2. Let's give an example of a metal carbonate. Let's say potassium carbonate. Okay, good, potassium carbonate. So potassium carbonate is like that, plus let's hydrochloric acid. So plus hydrochloric acid, the HCl like that. Then you are going to produce, we have a metal which will displace hydrogen from the compound to produce potassium chloride, the KCl plus water. So this hydrogen ion will steal one oxygen from the carbonate to produce water, H2O. Then we are going to remain with the carbon dioxide gas as a product. So thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe on my YouTube channel. Leave some comment in the section in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to reply to your comments. Have a good day.